Good morning from lovely northern Michigan, where someone has clearly taken their boats off before May 1st, thereby causing all this snow to rain down on us. And I can't get the angle any better, although Dan apparently was mightily amused watching me try to get the tentacle camera on this thing this morning. And we're actually going to have a nice slow cruise, because I got this in two-wheel drive. If they want to whip around me, they can whip around me. That's the nice thing about being tenured. Despite my dad's insane insistence on what I call German punctuality, where you're 5 minutes ahead all the time. Yeah, I've had years of anxiety over that, and now I'm just you just get in, it'll be good. I forced myself not to take the laptop home yesterday, despite feeling what I was feeling. Because I'm you gotta get dressed and come in for this. Because it's not gonna be that bad, at least on the front end. Yeah. It's supposed to keep snowing and be up to 7 inches, although it's 3 to 7. I'm that's a nice wide gap, weatherman. We could get anything from a little bit of this nice powdery stuff, which ain't too bad, or we could, bury the car. I don't know which, and unfortunately I have to take my dog to the vet later today, so it's oh great. Perfectly good, good time in there. Oh well. I'm not going to complain, because we have a candidate coming in from California, and I'm oh, good time to snow. Because then they'll give you something to think about while you're here. Do you really want to be in a place where it snows? Like this, until May. You get used to it, but yeah, the first several rounds of it, I would think, coming from California might be a little traumatizing. I don't know. I had to go reread their material and see, well, not that you can tell, because I'm why do you come to the Midwest? Are you from the Midwest? Do you know anything about the Midwest? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so suspicious that, we have candidates only from California, because I can kind of understand wanting to escape California. On the other hand, I'm very suspicious of, anybody coming out from California and exporting your culture. So my colleagues obviously feel differently, and if you're coming out from California, I assume you're probably going to be living south of our small town, where the city is and stuff is and things to do are. So maybe the culture shock won't be as great, because that's actually a nice, big, growing, friendly city. Unlike the other side of the state, where Detroit is. So yeah, might be fine. Might be worried for nothing, but I know if I don't go in and at least see them do their presentation, as opposed to having the one-on-one librarian meeting, they're going to be all well, you only saw the one, so you can't make an opinion. So gotta see them for this first hour. The second hour, though, well, second hour's not so bad, because the second hour would have been hey, you want to come to lunch? But fortunately, I have a lunch date with a student to talk about patents. Yeah. I should do whole nother exciting video on the joys of patent research, because this is my second year doing it, or not patent research. Excuse me, my colleague does that. This is my second year doing standards and demographics research for product design, and it's always an eye-opener. Yeah. I'll do that one as a separate video, maybe when we're done with all the exciting product design stuff. But today we have the cheery topic of ostracization and the long, lingering effects of ostracization on your mental perception of crap. Because I let something get to me yesterday that I shouldn't let get to me, because it's totally petty, and I'm way older, and just shouldn't let people get in my head. But sometimes I get sick of stuff and then have to go have some feels. So yesterday, I wanted to come near the end of our little company potluck, and they had 2 tables decorated with tablecloths, and then we had the rest of our break room, because there's not that many of us right now, and they didn't have many RSVPs, so why do up all the tables, right? Well, the table towards the back is full of people, okay, and because I'm coming in late, the table towards the front is the only one with seats, and I don't want to be the weirdo that just goes and sits at one of the smaller tables that doesn't have a tablecloth on it, and then as everyone's staring at them what the hell is wrong with you, neurodivergent person? So yeah, and we're not gonna run this guy over, don't worry. I see you, fella. Oh, you're wearing a mask outside, okay, whatever. Might be good for the cold. Anyway, so we have the tables. We have the table set up, and the only seats are at the front table where the cool kids, as I put it, our lovely little clique, is like sitting there, and our newest like staff member, who seems okay and seems to be simpatico with me, and I don't know. She came from K-12, so I'm kind of like, you at least understand the fact that like neurodivergent people exist and that we have to be related to somehow. So I'm not quite certain the rest of my colleagues have grasped that. But yeah, so I go and I sit down there, and I make the mistake of like offering a suggestion about, you know, like, why don't we have a library thing on Discord? Bad idea. I don't know. My question was, you know, not to make more work for people, but also because I'm like, I want to just start one up and then have you guys all be mad at me. And yeah, that's what would have probably happened, but I'm tenured now, so maybe I just will. Who knows? Anyway, I got the usual like, well, the students don't like having some adults in their spaces. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then the whole like, emphasize it's not your job, it's so-and-so's job. And it's like, okay, well, you guys make suggestions about our discovery interface, which is not your job. And all I'm trying to do is make our library better. So at least you could have given me like, I don't know, the bullshit. Like, oh, well, think about it. Or are you worried that I'm going to, like, come back at you in, like, 2 weeks or 6 weeks or something and be like, so, what would you think about that? Or, I set one up. Are you going to yell at me? And it's just stupid crap like that where I'm just like, guys, why do you have to constantly pack at people back into their place? Like, I get it that you all think or want to run the library your way, and we flushed out a lot of other folks that weren't, yeah, that were also kind of toxic in different ways, so that's a plus, but we still have this one clique that feels like they're running the show, at least until one of them retires, and then I'm going to be like, okay, maybe, just maybe, all of us, you know, outsiders, will actually be able to negotiate a peace amongst ourselves. And I say that because, yeah, there's one of us that's driving everyone crazy, which is like, even me, and I've tried to make, you know, friends with her. And it's just like, there's a reason. And I know you're respected on, like, your side of campus, and you do a lot of good research, so I can't say boo to that. But there are times when I'm just like, you know, you could be like me and suck it up and be civil occasionally just to get the job done. But then we're back to why I'm not going to librarian's portion of this interview, because I don't think I can sit there next week. I just don't think so right now. Which is why I went home early yesterday. I'm like, I gotta go pet my cat. I gotta go pet my cat. I know I'm rejection sensitive. I know I've got all these problems because, you know, I was picked on for having a non-white looking name in an all-white school, even though, yeah, I'm actually named after, like, a literary character, so it's like, dude, just frickin' learn some literature. Go read something for a change, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I got picked on a lot for that, and then I cried really easily, and then my mom left us at age 8, and yeah, there's a lot of bullying, and there was a lot of bullying back. I'm not gonna say I didn't do my share of vengeance crap, but yeah. So years and years of ostracization, years and years of all sorts of crazy shit. Just leads you to be like, yeah, maybe you should just sit by yourself, and then have everybody be like, why are you sitting by yourself? And you're like, reasons. I keep trying to, you know, be a team player, and I don't know. You guys don't seem keen on it. Anyway, I've hit down. Thank you for listening. I'll try to book this off here without skidding into the curb, which is why it's taking so long for me to turn it off in the first place. So, yeah. And I'm going to have someone pass me again on the left. They're making it hard for me to do this. Alright, sit her up.